Alright, so we have made it to what a lot of people call the best one in the series, the one that made Mission Impossible great. I do have an explanation though for this review that might be a little unpopular. Before I get into that explanation, I do want to go through my thoughts first, and then I'm going to get to that. So this movie was directed by Brad Bird. I love Brad Bird. I've recently become more aware of him because of Incredibles 2. And out of all the movies that he's done, that I've seen, I pretty much love them all. Even this one. So, he really hasn't done anything bad yet. And I hope he never does, but it's inevitable. And one of the things that I said I liked about the first Mission Impossible is that it paid so much attention to its characters and its story. And it sort of laid seeds that you don't really see on first viewing, right? This one does that same thing, but only for one scene. The scene where Ethan and Benji are infiltrating the Kremlin. Now, I don't know if anyone's really noticed this, but when they're walking through the Kremlin, I'm just sitting there like watching the movie like the first time I noticed it, I was like, holy shit, that is actually him. If you're wondering who I'm talking about the villain of the movie. When they're walking through the Kremlin, you can see the villain walking right in front of them. I never noticed this before. That's really good. That's amazing. That's great, man. I love that attention. I love it when movies pay that much attention to detail concerning the story and the characters and placing things right in front of you that you don't really see, that you don't see. And then you see it later and you're like, oh shit, the movie just got even better for me. So, the Burj Khalifa scene is, of course, one of the most iconic scenes in the franchise, but I dare I say in all of movie history. And I've been wanting to talk about this scene for ages. I mean, who doesn't want to talk about this scene? But I honestly love this scene because of how it's set up. How the movie sets up this challenging, almost impossible task. This is going back to the first Mission Impossible, how the first Mission Impossible would set up its impossible task or impossible mission, I guess, before we actually get to it. And this scene or movie does it with the Burj Khalifa sequence. Because the first shot of Dubai, when we go to Dubai, is Burj Khalifa in the distance, and it's literally the tallest building out of them all. Like, none of the other buildings can match it, and that's the first shot, off in the distance. You can see it from miles away. That's great visual storytelling, but when our team get to the Burj Khalifa and they go to their room, we find out that Ethan needs to climb the thing, right? That's when they go into explaining the scene. And I can't remember, but Brent says something that also builds it up, but mainly when Benji tells everyone we're on 130 floor, we're on the 130th floor. What the hell? That's really high. So the movie and this scene just really builds it up so well. And also on top of that, their tech keeps failing. When Ethan is climbing up the building, which by the way Tom Cruise is actually doing, I mean, that's common knowledge by now that he actually does all this shit, but the added effect of the gloves, the adhesive gloves constantly failing, shit, man. And then when he finally gets up to the level that he needs to infiltrate, he doesn't have the gloves anymore. So how the hell is he going to get down? He just grabs a fire hose, chucks out the window, wraps it around himself, jumps out the window, and all that's holding him, and all that's stopping him from fucking falling to his death is his hand. It's not an actual proper harness. He's just got it wrapped around him. That's it! Fucking awesome. Okay, so this movie introduces two new characters to the team. William Brent and Jane... Whatever, whatever. I don't care about her. But Jeremy Renner plays Brent, and I've always liked Jeremy Renner. He's great as Hawkeye. He's great as William Brent. I like the character, and he gives a good performance, honestly. So no complaints there. But I really hate this chick. I honestly, why am I've seen other people's reviews for these movies, all of them, and what I noticed is no one mentions, or no one has really had a problem with this actress's performance. Why? She's so bad in the movie, man. Because here's the thing. I can see with the writing of this movie that they are trying to make an interesting female character, right? I can see it. They try and give her depth and try and give her a story like William Brent, except the performance that this chick gives doesn't make it good. Like, if the performance was better, then I would like the character and the actress. But I don't, because her performance is... For example, she makes some really horrible acting choices. When she kills someone that she's not meant to kill, right? She's not meant to kill them. Goes somewhere else to a bag, and while she's opening the bag, she just looks at her hands and it's like, whoa, what? That's horrible. I'm sorry, but that's really bad. I've always hated her in this movie, and I don't quite know why people don't have a problem with her. She just gives a really unconvincing performance, and it's quite over the top. I mean, I just don't believe... I mean, look at her face. Like, can you believe that she's actually in pain? I can't. Anyway, pushing that aside, that being my only problem with the movie, I'm going to explain what I said I was going to explain before. I watched all 5 of these Mission Impossible movies back to back. And before I even started watching the first one, I was going in with the expectation that I was going to love Ghost Protocol more than the others, right? And because I hadn't seen these movies in a long time, when I finally got up to Ghost Protocol, I was kind of having a moral conflict, or I don't know, there was just this conflict in my mind. It's like, why do I not love this more than the others? Well, because I honestly didn't expect to love 3 and 5 as much as 4. And I've seen 4 so many times. I've seen 4 more times than I could probably count. So because of that, I guess some of its effect has been lost on me. But honestly, when I'm sitting down and thinking about this series, 3 and 4 and 5 are equally as good. So I'm not saying I don't like 4, okay, because I said I love it previously earlier in this review. So I do love it, it's just I don't love it more than the others, which a lot of people do, and I just don't. I just love 3, 4, and 5 equally. That's it. And that's it for my review. Honestly, I hope you understand where I'm coming from with that. But fuck, man, I really love this movie. I really love this movie. I love 3, I love 4. Let's see if I like 5. I love 5. Anyway, I'll see you in that review.